Now, I ain't one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicles Speak.
Leandria Johnson, 2010 Sunday's Best winner. We've seen her ups and we've definitely seen her downs. There's one side of her that many have been closed off to, and that's the side of her second husband, Michael Underwood.
The second time, and that wasn't good either. I was drunk when I met him. I was drunk when I married him. And I was drunk when I left him.
Leandria has since married Pastor Forrest Walker, but according to Michael Underwood, she's still married to him. So this is Chronicles Speaks. I am here with Michael Underwood, and he is the current husband of Miss Leandria Johnson. How are you, Mr. Michael Underwood?
Blessed. How are you?
Just fine. So we have a lot to cover today regarding your marriage. So can you kind of just tell me how you met Leandria? Clue us in on some information.
All right, we met. As a matter of fact, me and some friends after work, we wanted to. They wanted to go do. They wanted to go to a bar, and they needed a designated driver, so they had me tag along. So we went to a little place out here in Orlando called Orlando Ale House, and that's where I met her. And we was walking out, and her and her friends walking in, and I just basically looked at her and just told him, I said, you know, something, that's look like somebody I probably would spend the rest of my life with. He, as I was going to the vehicle, he just said that he was gonna go in and use the bathroom, and he came back out with her and told her basically what I said. We went from there.
Okay. And what year was this?
This was 2008.
2008. Okay, so you guys started dating. How long was the dating period? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I say the dating period, I'd say it was maybe 4 months.
Okay.
And then it got to the point where, you know, she was having a little trouble with finances and stuff like that. So that's when I stepped in and, you know, just told her, hey, you know, let me help you out, blah, blah, blah. Then I met her parents, and we sat there in the office and we talked about, of course, you know, her father's a bishop, so of course he's going to ask, you know, about marriage and all that type of stuff. So we discussed that, and I said maybe within a year or so, and then, you know, her mother jumped in and was like, hey, maybe y'all could do less time than that. So I was like, maybe, you know, so. On November 14th, 2008, we ended up going to Sanford, Florida, down the road from where we lived to the courthouse.
Michael came with his receipts and provided me proof of the marriage license.
Right.
Okay. And you have a son with her as well, correct?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So when was your son born?
He was born 2009.
The issue at hand right now is that you have not seen your son but 2 times, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The first time he was born. Matter of fact, I walked into the hospital, and when I got up to her room, she had a note on the door, basically telling security or the doctors and the nurses that she didn't want me to come into the room. But I walked in anyway, and when I walked in, her friends was holding my baby before I could even look or touch my child. So,
wow.
When I got the chance to hold him, she was threatening to call security and all that type stuff. So I didn't want to upset her more than she was pretending to be. So I went on and gave him a kiss, and I walked out, and that was the last time I seen my son.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
And also I was bringing I was bringing diapers, wipes, baby furniture. You know, I had to basically drop it off at their church, and because they wouldn't allow me to come in to see my son because they had a daycare center too at their church.
Okay, so during the pregnancy, were you involved at all? Were you going to doctor's visits?
Well, with her, she was very very mean spirited. She would basically one minute, it was like a bipolar type ordeal. You know, I've never experienced. I have 2 other children of my own, so their mothers never acted like that before, so it was kind of weird to me. Then her mom approached me and told me that she acted like that with her first husband, with her first two children, and but I've never experienced anything like that. And she said it was her hormones, all that type stuff, because sometimes she would disappear for days, sometimes a week, and I wouldn't know where she is. I'm taking care of the two kids, and while she's out pregnant with my child, but I'm being daddy like I'm supposed to be. I'm being a husband.
Right.
And taking care of my responsibilities, by dropping them off at church in the morning to the daycare and going to work, and then coming home from work, picking them up, bringing them home, and doing what I'm supposed to do. Bathe them, put them in bed, and just love them like a father's supposed to.
Right. So, at what point were you completely cut off? No connections with her, no connections with her kids, the family, and now your son. At what point were you just completely cut off? Did she move out of the home? Like, what happened at that point?
Well, one day I walked in the house and she was on a phone. She didn't have a cell phone at the time. She was using her sister's cell phone, and I was kind of wondering who she was talking to on the phone, and then I found out it was a gentleman that she was talking to, and so I got a little upset. Who wouldn't? And I basically went in the room and started packing my things. I just told her, this, we just got married, within 30 days. So yeah, so I just packed up and I left. And when I came back to get the rest of my stuff, she had it in the garage, piled up with bleach on it. So.
With bleach on it. So I have some documents here that you've given me. You've given me a truckload of documents, and you were also on the Queen's Court with Kaya and T.S. Madison back in October 2017, right?
That's the Queens, yes, I love
Queen's Court, yes. So that's the first time we actually heard your story. That's the first time I heard your story. Pretty much all of this stuff seems to be true. You have court documents, you have police reports, you have everything. So was she the first one to try to get the divorce, or was it you? Because we have some documents here where she was the petitioner, and then we have documents from you as well. So can you explain that to me?
When I first found out that my son was about to turn 2, and I reached out to her after she won the show, Sunday's Best. I reached out to her and told her, I would like to do his second birthday party, and she agreed. But she said she was she was on tour at the time, so she said, "Give me a couple of weeks, and we can work that out." And then 2 weeks later, I reached out to her and I called her, and this gentleman answered her phone, and basically he asked me who was this, and I'm thinking like this is her manager or something like that, but I said this is her husband, and he was like, "Her husband who?" I was like, "Well, her husband Mike." He was like, he got real uptight and started cussing, and I'm her MF husband, and blah 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 blah, and that's my Leandria. And I'm like, all right, pump your brakes. I was like, pump your brakes, dude. I was like, I'm just calling about my son, but at the same time, I had to play it off because hearing that just kind of blew me away because I didn't know what to think about that. So at the end, he told me that I couldn't see my son without his permission. So, and I haven't seen my son since.
He didn't know anything about you, obviously, and you didn't know anything about him.
Oh, he knew about me.
He did?
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, but because they've been basically, from what I researched, they've been together since the beginning of our marriage.
Okay.
Because she told her dad that she no longer wanted to be with somebody normal. She wanted to be with a musician.
So pretty much things changed after she won Sunday's Best. She wanted to get with someone that was, I guess, more on her level, quote unquote. And upon watching Sunday's Best, she said things like she had her clothes put outside.
Leandria Johnson, and I'm from Orlando, Florida. My friend told me about Sunday's Best, and I didn't want to hear anything about Sunday Best because of where I was. I lost my house right before I got here, and everything was put in bags. And all I had was those bags that was in front of my house. And I grabbed what I could, and I came like I am.
And pretty much it sounded like she was homeless. So can you explain that situation? Were you guys
None of
homeless? What happened?
none of that was it. None of that happened. I guess she wanted to make up a story about her singing and all that. She needed a story behind it. None of that was true. I mean, she lived with her mother and father. It even says it on the police report that she got in 2009, and that's where she was living at with her mom and dad.
Okay, I actually have a picture here, and we're gonna show it on the screen as well. So this is her current husband. Well,
Her baby daddy.
you said it, not me.
Yeah, that was their fake wedding that they had.
So
Basically,
this happened while she was still married to you.
yeah, and you see her mom and dad. I mean, her mother and her uncle was in the background, which really made me like, wow, they know that marriage wasn't for real. So, but they're involved in it anyway. So,
Okay, so I do a little bit of digging. I was not able to find a marriage license for her. I don't know if it's sealed or what's going on, but I wasn't able to find a marriage license for her. You did actually give me your marriage license, so we have proof that you guys are married. And the other proof that you sent me shows that you have been trying to get a divorce. She's been trying to get a divorce, so we'll get into that as well. So it's proof that you guys are still married, so pretty much that marriage is null and void.
yeah, because when she tried to get her divorce here in Orlando, this was in 2013. She and her lawyer, her entertainment lawyer at the time, they was trying to do things without my knowledge.
Okay.
She tried to take my rights away from me, and then they tried to get the divorce without me knowing anything. But yet, me and her been Facebook friends since 2010, so it was basically no way she could say she couldn't contact me.
Right, so I see here she says, my son and I have not heard from Mr. Underwood in well over a year. I cannot locate him at this address. And then she said the telephone number for you is inactive. She would like a divorce from you, and she is not requesting child support at this time. This was dated September 3rd of 2014.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
what do you think her reason for not getting the divorce, not trying to contact you further, not trying to reach out to your friends or family, like what do you think that reason is?
I don't know. Maybe because she was with this gentleman and that's what she wanted to be with, and also at the same time, that what stopped her from getting a divorce here, the judge stopped it because her lawyer he practiced in Boston, and that he put my name on the paperwork wrong. He put Michael Dwayne Johnson,
Which is her last name.
which is her last name.
Okay. I do see that she pretty much tried to take your rights away for your son. What did the judge say about that as far as, having her have full custody over him?
So what I did was I filed for the petition. I had my lawyer here told me that she was living in Atlanta, and she also had a residence in Texas. So that I would have to find a lawyer, a family lawyer in Atlanta to be able to serve her because they had no jurisdiction here to get her served. So I went and found me a lawyer there, and we couldn't serve her because every time the server tried to serve her, she would have somebody stop them, and or when they tried to serve her at her church, she would have people stop him from serving her. So it took me a couple of years after that to try to get her served because I had no choice but to keep this case open.
Right. Because
I really wanted to, I needed this divorce, and it's about my son.
Right.
And so after that, it was I had no choice but to go public with it because I don't have her platform. I don't have her money to keep this going like she did. So I went to I got in contact with T.S. Madison. Shout out to T.S. Madison and Kaya, and they was with open arms to help me with the situation because which the sad part about it is that I went to church leaders and we also went to gospel radio stations. I reached out to a lot. I even wrote talk shows, to help, but nobody responded. But it took just normal good people like T.S. Madison and Kaya to be there and help me.
Okay, so let's get into these police documents.
They came there. It was like a everyday thing. Her and her brothers, they was coming after me relentlessly because her first marriage, they ran this guy off, and I basically told her when she told me about the story, that that'll never happen with me. I'm from Washington D.C., so that's not going to happen. So she, they came every day, even after church on Bible study on Thursday, and after every Sunday, they would come looking for me. So one day they jumped out a vehicle on me. One day it was about 8, maybe a little bit more. They jumped out. They got they good thing on me, but chipped my tooth and everything. But I didn't press charges any time that day because my wife, she was pregnant and she was driving that day when it happened. So
Leandria
but after
was
that,
pregnant with your son when she was driving to do all of this.
yes.
Okay.
And then after that, it got to the point where I had no choice but to get the police involved. Matter of fact, they even did it in front of the police one time. So they put on the reports, stalking and battery, and I feared for my life.
Wow. So they actually physically beat you. This was the father and the brothers, or just the brothers?
No, it was the brothers, her and her church friend, her little friends, and their cousin.
Okay.
They split my lip. They chipped my tooth, and they gave me a good beating, but it was all good.
Was anyone arrested for this?
No, I didn't press because she was pregnant.
Okay.
And at the time, I didn't want her to go to jail. But after that, it got to the point where it started getting to the point where the cops told me that you got to press charges. There's possibility they're gonna take your life.
Okay, and I see that it was times when they were actually waiting for you. They were inside the ale house waiting for you to show up, and security actually told you, that they had been looking for you ready to fight.
Yes. As a matter of fact, speaking of that, security buddy of mine, they both was buddy of mine, and Leandria went up there just to basically to get under my skin and try to hit up one of the guys, one of the bouncers.
Tried to flirt with him, or
yeah, and
while
he
she
told
was
me,
pregnant?
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So what are your attorneys saying as far as you being able to, for one, get this divorce, and for two, be able to see your son again? Like what? Because we've all seen her online. We've seen, her drinking and everything. And then I even brought to you this morning that she was arrested in 2016 for some type of breaking and entering. So what's stopping you from, being able to see your son at this point?
Well, she won't show up for the hearings. With the last hearing we showed up for, her lawyer basically gave up because she went on a little rant about Marvin Winans, and I guess basically he was representing Marvin Winans. What he said, he just said he had to.
It sounds like you're covering up your phone a little bit at the bottom. I don't know if.
He said that he had to basically stop being her lawyer because of the situation, because she went on that rant, and it would have interfered with his clientele or whatever he said. And
like
then
a conflict of interest.
It's even on the documents. He even called her crazy. That was kind of shocking to me and my lawyer at the time for him to even have that on file just to say something like that.
So if you could say anything to Leandria, what would you say at this point? Because she's going to be on Iyanla this weekend, I believe, and the weekend afterwards. So it looks like she's going to be going into rehab.
So tonight I didn't realize that I was drinking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I didn't have time to be there for my kids like I needed to. All I knew is I had to go out and make ends meet and come back home and provide for my family.
Well, I'm back, y'all. So I don't know if y'all know, I am in a substance abuse treatment facility. There it is. Yay! Da-da-da-da. Where's the fireworks?
It seems to me like that would be a perfect time to get your son. If she's not even there to care for him, it seems like he would go to the next of kin, and that would be you. So, I mean, is there anything that you can kind of do right now, or anything you're looking to do, and what would you like to say to her?
Well, I found out that she has her parents down there now. She moved her parents from Orlando to down there, I guess, when she got put in jail for DUI situations. I guess her publicist had to get her, to have a good story or whatever, because the people that her son, her baby daddy, he couldn't take care of the kids on his own because he doesn't work. So I guess her parents came down, but I would love to be in my son's life. I would love to be a part of his life 24/7 if I could. But like I said, it has to be done in court. This is not how she wanted to do it originally. She just wanted me to sign some paperwork and just say, okay, we're divorced. No, I have a child with you that I haven't seen since he's 8 months. He's about to turn 10.
Can you tell everyone how you pretty much watched your son grow up? How have you seen him grow up?
I watched him grow up.
Take your time. Take your time.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take your time.
I watched him grow up on her social media.
And I know that's got to be hard for you. I know that's got to be difficult. And there's so many men out here that aren't in their child's life, and because they don't want to be. But you're a man that actually is trying to be there for his child. You're a black man trying to be there for a black little boy, and you need to be there.
Yes.
There's nothing that should stop you from being there for your son.
Yeah.
So,
go
ahead.
And I would be the perfect. I would be the perfect morale for my son. I would be the perfect person for him to look up to. Because I didn't have that in my life. So, I want to give it to him.
Yeah.
He's a special kid. He's funny. He has a great sense of humor, great personality, and I can't wait to meet him.
Wow. And it sounds like you're covering up your phone again. I'm sorry.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome when I do meet him, and I just can't wait to meet him. It's going to be awesome.
Well, I am looking forward to that day to where you can actually meet your son, spend some time with him, and I know y'all got a lot of catching up to do. Is there any other last words you want to say to Leandria, to anyone watching, to your son?
Yes, Leandria, I just want you to show up for court. I want you to be honest about everything, and the more and more you go on and lie about your career and who you are and who you really are, you're sometimes this is how God works. He, what you're doing in the dark, the light gonna shine no matter what. So like I told you earlier, God always put good people in the right place at the right time, and this is my right time. So whoever thinks less of what I'm doing, that's their opinion, and I really don't care. This is about my child, and if they don't understand that, then a question I would ask them basically is, what would you fight for? What's important to you to fight hard for? So this is what I'm fighting for: my son and my freedom. So.
Exactly. Well, I definitely want to keep in contact with you to see what more we can do in your story and helping you get your son. I'm going to put these documents up. My subscribers know I double check and read everything. I've never had someone bring me so much. I didn't have to really do any work for you. So I thank you for that. But yeah, I mean, I double checked everything. All of this is real. He's still married. Leandria is still married to him. And they do have a child together. So I've double checked everything. It's real, y'all. So I definitely want you back in your son's life. Whatever we can do to help your son and you get back, together on the straight and narrow, I'm here for it. So we're gonna go ahead and
I got a book. I'm working on a book.
Okay.
I'm writing a book about the situation, and it'll basically tell everything. I'm leaving nothing out.
Okay, and you also have a YouTube page as well, correct?
Yes. I just started a YouTube page, and everybody, if you want to come on and get to know me, and I would love to get to know you. I just want to do my platform. It's Michael Underwood.
Okay, so y'all make sure to go follow. Make sure to go follow my subscribers. If you want to keep up with this story, make sure to go follow Michael Underwood at YouTube. You have any Instagram, Facebook, anything you want people to follow you on?
Yes, I got Instagram, also Facebook, and as a matter of fact, Twitter also.
Once you do get back connected with your son, we definitely want to hear from you again. So y'all make sure to go follow him, and I will let you go, Michael. It was good talking.
Thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you as well.
Thank you.
Now, before I end this video, I wanted to tell y'all about a company called Ash Kicking. Now, y'all know Miss Chronicles would not promote a company without doing one of those thorough Chronicles Speaks investigations, honey. And Ash Kicking definitely passed the test, y'all. Make sure you visit ashkicking.com for the best 100% all-natural home fragrance and beauty products, honey. And use my code Chronicles at checkout for an extra 15% off just for you.
And before you go, don't forget to hit the bell for notifications, like this video, and subscribe. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.